Stop. Do not move another inch. Do not let your thumb brush that screen again, for this is no accident of technology. It is a divine appointment, a holy intercept in the middle of your weariness. I have watched you, my child, as you drifted through these hours, carrying a weight that was never meant for your shoulders, looking for a sign that you have not been forgotten. I am here to tell you that this moment has been carved out of eternity, specifically for you. This is not a video to be consumed and discarded among the noise of the world. It is a sacred decree, a direct whisper into the deepest, most wounded chambers of your soul. I see your bleeding heart, the one you have hidden so carefully behind smiles and silence, and I am telling you now that the time for running is over. You have arrived at the threshold of your deliverance, and if you turn away now, you are turning away from the very miracle I have prepared to save you from the darkness that seeks to consume your tomorrow. You have built walls, have you not? My precious one, you have laid stone upon stone, brick upon brick of cynicism, bitterness, and cold resolve, thinking that if you made the fortress of your heart impenetrable, the pain could never find its way back inside. You call it strength, you call it moving on, but I, who see through every shadow, tell you that you have not built a fortress. You have constructed a tomb. By closing your heart to keep the hurt out, you have inadvertently trapped the old pain within, and you have locked me out of the very place where I desire to dwell and heal. You are gasping for air inside a prison of your own, making suffocating under the pressure of things you refuse to feel. I've come today with a holy fire, not to comfort the walls that keep you bound, but to tear them down. I'm not here to offer you a shallow bandage for a wound that goes to the bone. I am here to perform a divine surgery, to shatter the ice that has encased your spirit, and to restore the rhythm of life that has been stolen from you. Listen to me, for the windows of heaven are open above you at this very second, and the authority I carry is shifting the atmosphere of the room you are sitting in. Before you close your eyes and sleep tonight, or before you take that next step toward a decision born of desperation and fear, you must hear what I am about to reveal. There is a destiny waiting for you on the other side of your vulnerability, a version of yourself that is not defined by who hurt you, but by who I am. Before I reveal the immense blessing and the healing that is even now rushing toward your life, I want you to declare your presence in this holy space. Do not be a silent observer of your own rescue. Type "I am here, Lord" or 7007 in the comments right now to signal that you are ready to receive. This is your first act of faith, a signal to the heavens that you are opening the gates of your soul. And as you do this, I invite you to join this family of believers who walk in my light. Press the like button now as a physical sign of your agreement with this message. Let it be a prophetic yes to the work I am beginning in you. Subscribe to this sanctuary of my voice, for the journey of restoration is not a single step, but a path we will walk together day by day. By aligning yourself with this frequency, you're telling the enemy that his reign of silence over your life is finished. The gates are open, the King of Glory is entering, and your heart is about to beat with a power you thought was lost forever. Stay with me, for the revelation I have for you will change the very fabric of your reality. Stay with me, my beloved, for I do not speak empty words that vanish into the wind. I have watched you struggle in the cold for far too long, trying to warm yourself by fires that only leave more ash. If you stay in my presence until the end of this message, if you do not turn away from the light I am shining into your darkness, I give you a divine commitment of fivefold restoration. First, I promise that the thick, jagged ice that has grown around your heart, the numbness you mistook for safety, will begin to melt immediately. You will feel the warmth of my spirit penetrating those frozen places, bringing feeling back where there was only stone. Second, a peace that does not belong to this world, a peace that defies the logic of your current circumstances, will begin to settle over the room where you are right now. It will wrap around you like a heavy, comforting mantle, shielding you from the storms that used to keep you awake at night. But I will not stop at the surface. Third, I see the chaos in your mind, the endless loop of what-ifs and why me that has made your thoughts a battlefield. As you listen to these words, I will bring a supernatural stillness, turning the raging sea of your mind into a mirror-calm lake. You will find a clarity you haven't known in years. Fourth, the invisible scars from your past, those deep hidden wounds from people who failed you and moments that broke you, will begin to fade into the light of my love. I am not just covering them, I am rewriting the story of your pain so that when you look back, you see my grace instead of the trauma. And finally, I will hand you a new weapon. I will teach you how to protect your peace with divine authority so you never have to lock your soul away to survive again. You will walk in the world, but be shielded by the heavens. This is the reward of your surrender. Do not leave this holy moment, for the breakthrough you have been weeping for is already in motion. My child, I have walked through the corridors of your heart, and I know exactly where it hurts. I have seen the symptoms you try so hard to hide from the world and even from yourself. You feel empty, even when you are surrounded by people who love you, a hollow echo where there should be joy. You have lost the ability to cry, for the wells of your emotions have been sealed shut by the dust of disappointment. I see you constantly on guard, watching for the moment the people who seem too good to be true finally show their true colors. There is a physical heaviness in your chest, a weight that never truly leaves, making every breath feel like a chore. I know those nights when you cannot sleep because your mind is a revolving door of past mistakes and future fears. You have begun to procrastinate your own happiness, whispering to yourself that it's better not to get your hopes up, because if you don't hope, you can't be hurt. You doubt every compliment and question every kindness, looking for the hidden agenda. You are emotionally exhausted, not because you are doing too much, but because you are feeling too little, and the effort to appear fine is draining the very life from your bones. I have seen you retreat into the shadows of your own mind, preferring the safety of isolation over the risk of being seen. You find yourself becoming cynical about the world, believing that true love is a myth and that everyone eventually leaves. You struggle to feel my presence, not because I am far, but because the walls you built to keep out the fire of pain have also blocked the warmth of my spirit. You have become a master of the fake smile, a performer on the stage of life who goes home to an empty, silent room. You feel a strange sense of irritation when others are joyful, a bitterness that tastes like iron in your mouth. You have stopped dreaming, replacing your visions with survival tactics. You are hyper-aware of every shift in someone's tone, every change in their body language, searching for the first sign of rejection. You have begun to believe that you are broken beyond repair, that the stone in your chest is simply who you are now. You feel a deep, nagging sense of guilt for things you couldn't control, and you have turned that guilt into a weapon against your own soul. You find yourself unable to truly forgive, not because you want to be cruel, but because your heart is too stiff to bend. Listen to my voice, for I am here to reframe everything you believe about yourself. You call this armor strength. You tell yourself that being cold is being smart, that being guarded is being wise. But I tell you, this is not strength. It is the residue of battles you were never meant to fight alone. It is the scar tissue of a heart that was shattered and tried to heal itself without the master's touch. These symptoms are not your identity. They are signals. They are the alarm bells of a soul that is crying out for its creator. You are not cold-hearted. You are simply heart-heavy. You are not difficult. You are simply defensive. Do not let the enemy convince you that this stone heart is the final version of you. I did not create you to be a statue of endurance. I created you to be a vessel of vibrant life. This season of hardness is coming to an end. It is merely the signal that the old way of living is no longer working, and it is time for the great physician to step in. You are not your wounds, and you are not your walls. You are my chosen one, and your restoration begins the moment you acknowledge that you cannot carry this weight anymore. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. This is not a suggestion or a distant wish. It is my covenant written in the stars and now spoken directly into your ear. You have tried to fix yourself with human logic, self-help, and worldly distractions, but only the potter can reshape the clay. I am stepping into your life right now to perform a spiritual transplant. I see the calcified layers around your spirit, the years of disappointment that have hardened into a shell. But my power is like a hammer that breaks the rock in pieces. I'm initiating a divine mechanism, a process of 7 rounds that will methodically dismantle every lie you have believed and every wall you have built. Each round is a strike against the darkness, a rhythmic pulse of my grace that will beat until the stone is gone and the flesh is restored. You are not just getting a repair, you are receiving a total upgrade of your spiritual DNA. This process is not random, it is precise and sovereign. Each of the 7 rounds I'm about to lead you through is designed to target a specific layer of your defense. From the cynicism that clouds your vision to the bitterness that poisons your bloodline, nothing will remain untouched by my light. You must understand that your cooperation is the fuel for this momentum. When you agree with me, you release the authority of heaven into your earthly circumstances. I am replacing your fragile human defenses with the armor of my light. You will no longer need to hide behind a mask of indifference, for you will be clothed in a strength that is born of peace, not of fear. The mechanism of my spirit is moving even now, vibrating through the very cells of your body, preparing you to carry the weight of the blessings I have stored up for this new season of your life. It is time to stop surviving and start becoming who I called you to be. Before we begin the first round of this holy dismantling, you must seal this moment in the physical world. Do not let this word pass you by like a common thought. Type this now in the comments, "Divine fire, cover me now." This is more than a comment. It is a seal upon your soul, an invitation for my purifying presence to consume everything that does not belong to your destiny. As you type, feel the shift in your spirit. And now tap the like button. This is your act of agreement. In the realm of the spirit, agreement releases momentum. By doing this, you are telling the principalities of darkness that you have switched sides, that you no longer belong to the shadows of your past, but to the radiance of my future. The gates are beginning to move. The fire is falling. We are ready to begin the transformation. Lift up your eyes. My precious child, for your help does not come from the ground or the ruins of what used to be. I'm issuing a holy command to your spirit right now. Stop staring at the blood on the floor of your past. Stop tracing the jagged edges of your scars as if they are the map of your future destiny. You have spent years gazing inward at the wreckage, obsessing over the pieces of your broken dreams, and trying to reconstruct a puzzle that was never meant for your hands to fix. When you look at the wound, you only give power to the pain. You validate the lie that the injury is bigger than the creator. But when you look at me, the one who speaks life into nothingness, you begin to feed the miracle. I am the God who stretched out the heavens like a curtain, and I am the same God who counts the very hairs on your head. I'm not a distant observer of your suffering. I'm the architect of your restoration. Shift your focus right now. Turn your eyes away from the betrayal, away from the lack, and toward the majestic one who stands above all. The horizon of your life is changing because I have stepped onto the scene, and my shadow is longer than any valley you have walked through. Establish the atmosphere of my presence in your sanctuary right now, for where I am, the heavy yokes of the world must break. I want you to feel the tangible weight of my glory, pressing down against the thin, frantic energy of the anxiety that has tried to claim your peace. I'm setting a table for you in the presence of your enemies, but you must choose to sit and feast on my word. Inhale my authority deeply into your lungs. Breathe in the absolute truth that I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end of every trial that has ever crossed your path. Now exhale that suffocating worry that has been a thief in your house. Let out the breath you have been holding in your chest since the moment they broke your heart and told you that you were not enough. Let it go into the void, for it has no place in the light of my love. The battle does not belong to your trembling hands or your weary mind. It belongs to my sovereign and unstoppable power. We are vertically aligning your spirit with the frequency of heaven's victory. Every fiber of your being is being recalibrated to receive the fire of transformation. Do not look back at the ruins, for the past is a graveyard where I have already buried your shame. Look forward. Prepare yourself, for the first strike against the stone heart is about to fall, and nothing will be the same again. I'm speaking now to the hard, brittle exterior you have worn like a second skin. For years, you have called this layer realism or being careful, but I call it cynicism, a jagged wall built from every no you ever received and every time you were told you weren't enough. I declare right now the shell of stone that surrounds your capacity to trust must crack. It is a fake protection, a counterfeit shield that keeps out the sunlight of my grace while letting the dampness of the past rot your spirit from within. I send my holy light to strike the fault lines of your suspicion, every thought that tells you it's too good to be true, or everyone has a hidden motive is a poison from the enemy designed to keep you from the abundance I have prepared. I am burning away the thick gray fog of doubt that has blinded you to the beauty I'm still planting in your path. Feel the heat of my presence as it presses against that cold, hard surface. The cracks are forming even as I speak. You no longer need to be hard to be safe. You only need to be mine. Hear the sound of the iron chains falling to the floor of your soul. These are the shackles of maybe next time, and blessings are for others, not for me. I am calling you into a higher alignment of authority. Do not remain a silent victim. Join your voice with mine in this atmosphere of victory. Repeat these words in the sanctuary of your mind, or speak them aloud into the room. I break the chains of cynicism. I shatter the cage of doubt. My trust is being restored by the hand of the Almighty. Say it again with the fire of a soul that refuses to be caged any longer. I am dismantling the fortress of never again that you built after that last betrayal. I am stripping away the heavy armor that has become a burden rather than a defense. You were not created for the constant weight of suspicion. You were created for the lightness of faith and the freedom of hope. The power of the Most High is surging through your consciousness, clearing out the old jagged debris of broken promises and replacing them with the fresh living expectation of my goodness. Pay close attention to your body in this moment, for my healing is not a vague concept. It is a physical reality. I see the way you have held your jaw tight, braced for a blow that never comes even in your sleep. I see the tension in your brow, carved by years of waiting for the other shoe to drop. I command that tension to leave your frame right now. Feel the muscles in your jaw loosening, the clenching giving way to a sudden, sweet release. Let the tightness behind your eyes dissolve like mist in the morning sun. Relax your face. Let the mask of the weary warrior fall away, for I am the great warrior who fights your battles while you rest. You are safe in the hollow of my hand. You can breathe deeply now without fear of what the next moment holds. The first round of your deliverance is complete. The shell is broken and the pure air of heaven is finally reaching the tender, hidden parts of your soul. Do not fear the vulnerability. It is the doorway to your true power. It is done, sealed. I move now into the deeper layers of your spirit, down to the roots where the poison of ancient bitterness has tried to take hold. I have seen every tear you shed in secret when the world thought you were fine. I saw the faces of those who betrayed your trust, those who spoke lies against your character, and those who took what was precious from you without a second thought. That bitterness is not just a feeling. It is a toxin that has been gnawing at your vitality, clouding your joy, and turning your sweetness into gall. But today, the great physician has arrived. I command every drop of that poison to be drained from your soul right now. Every residue of resentment that you have carried for years, even the bitterness you have felt toward me and toward yourself, I order it to leave your temple. This is my territory, and I will not permit the enemy to use your history as a weapon against your destiny any longer. In the name that is above every name, I officially revoke the legal right of bitterness to occupy your heart. I withdraw every power it has held over your health, your sleep, and your relationships. You were never meant to be a reservoir for the wrongs of others. You were meant to be a river of my living water. I'm cutting the cords that tether you to the people who hurt you. You have carried them on your back for too long, allowing their past actions to dictate your current peace. No more. I'm erasing the debt you feel they owe you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. By my authority, I cancel the self-curses you spoke in your darkest hours, the words where you said you would never love again or that you were cursed to be alone. Those words are ashes. I blow them away with the breath of my spirit. You are clean. You are light. You are no longer defined by the injuries of the past. Pay attention to what is happening inside you at this very moment. There is a holy heat, a divine warmth that is beginning to travel down the length of your spine. It is the fire of my love melting the icy grip of old grudges. That sharp stabbing pain in your chest, the one that tightens whenever you remember certain names or places, is beginning to soften. It is as if a heavy rusted iron band around your heart is being snapped by the fingers of Almighty God. Your breathing is becoming easier, deeper, and more natural than it has been in a decade. The lump in your throat is dissolving. You're not just letting go, you are being liberated. I'm flushing out the bitterness and filling those empty spaces with the oil of my joy and the wine of my peace. The past has no more claim on you. You are emerging from the shadow of resentment into the brilliant sunlight of my mercy. The roots have been pulled. The soil of your heart is being purified and made ready for new growth. Do not look back at the people you have left behind at the altar of my grace. They no longer have the power to sting you. You have been washed in the blood and refined in the fire. The ancient bitterness that once whispered in your ear is now silent, replaced by the symphony of my promises. Walk in this new lightness, for you are unburdened and unafraid. The thief has been caught and must return sevenfold what he stole from your peace. It is done, sealed. I see the way you have tucked yourself away in the shadows, my beloved, convinced that if you are never seen, you can never be struck. You have mistaken your isolation for safety and your silence for peace. But I tell you, now this fear of being vulnerable is not the shield you think it is. It is a trap designed by the enemy to keep you from the very intimacy and connection that I have destined for your life. You have been afraid to open the doors of your soul, fearing that if you let someone in, they will only find the broken pieces and leave you more shattered than before. But I am here to tell you that I am the one who stands at the door of your heart, and my love is the only perfect protection. I am breaking the iron gongs of fear that have been vibrating in your spirit, telling you that the future is a threat. I am snapping the heavy gong hymns, the pincers of dread that have kept you from stepping into the light. You do not need to hide to be safe, for you are hidden in the secret place of the Most High. I declare, your fear is not a fortress. It is a prison that has kept your blessings at bay. I'm dismantling every lie that tells you that being open is being weak. True strength is the ability to stand in the truth of who you are, covered by my glory without the need for a mask. I am releasing a holy boldness into your nervous system right now. No longer will you shrink back when the world calls you forward. No longer will you whisper when I have called you to roar. I'm stepping into your future and clearing out every ghost of what if that has haunted your dreams. I am your rear guard and your vanguard. I walk before you to make the crooked places straight, and I stand behind you as your ultimate defender. Declare this over your life with the authority I've given you. I do not walk in hiding. I walk in divine covering. I am not a victim of the unknown. I am a child of the King. Notice the shift in your physical body at this very second, for my word is spirit and it is life. I see your shoulders, which have been pulled up to your ears for years, as if bracing for a storm finally dropping. The weight is falling off. I command the muscles in your neck and back to release the tension of self-preservation. Your breathing is no longer shallow and frantic. It is becoming deep, rhythmic, and peaceful, like a child resting in their father's arms. The air in your lungs is the breath of my spirit, and it is washing away the stale, recycled air of anxiety. You are safe, you are held, you are seen, and you are deeply, unconditionally loved. The grip of terror is loosening, and in its place I am pouring the oil of steady, unwavering confidence. Do not allow this moment of breakthrough to pass without marking it in the heavens. Your words are the keys to your authority. Type it now in the comments. No door is open to fear. Let the digital atmosphere record your decree. And as you feel the chains of isolation snapping, press the like button now as a signal of your agreement with this new freedom. Subscribe to this family, for this is your new rhythm, a daily immersion in protection, clarity, and peace. You are no longer an orphan of fear. You are an heir to a kingdom of power and a sound mind. The door to your heart is no longer locked against the world. It is open to me, and because I am inside, no weapon formed against you shall ever prosper. It is done. Sealed. I am moving now into the very marrow of your history, down into the hidden deep where the stories of your ancestors are written in your very DNA. I have seen the patterns that have haunted your family for generations. The inherited silences, the recurring addictions, the legacy of coldness that has passed from father to son and mother to daughter like a heavy, dark inheritance. You have often felt that your life was not entirely your own, as if you were walking in shoes that were already worn down by the failures of those who came before you. You have wondered why you feel a loneliness that seems older than your years, or why the same spirit of heaviness that sat upon your parents has now tried to claim your house. But I am the God of the new covenant, and I do not recognize the authority of ancient curses over a child who belongs to me. I am here with the sword of my spirit to perform a divine separation. What your parents endured, what your grandparents suffered, and the ways they chose to harden their hearts on in order to survive, none of this is your destiny. I am reaching back through the decades and the centuries to pull the plug on every source of generational trauma that has been feeding your pain. I sever the invisible threads of abandonment, the tangled webs of poverty, of spirit, and the iron chains of emotional distance that have been handed down to you. I declare that the cycle of the stone heart ends today. You are not a carbon copy of their suffering. You are an original masterpiece of my grace. I am cleansing your bloodline with the holy fire of my presence, purging the residue of every secret and every shame that was never yours to carry. You were born for such a time as this, to be the one who stands in the gap and says no further. You are the generational shifter, the one who breaks the dam and allows the river of my love to flow into a lineage that has been dry for too long. Repeat this with the full weight of my authority. I am a generational shifter. The darkness stops here. My children will inherit a legacy of light. Pay attention to your mind and your body at this very moment. It feels as though a thick, suffocating gray cloud that has sat upon the crown of your head since childhood is finally lifting. The pressure in your temples is easing, and the fog that has clouded your judgment is being burned away by the morning sun of my truth. Your vision is becoming sharp and clear. You are no longer looking through the distorted lens of your family's past. You are seeing yourself as I see you, unbound, unburdened, and purely mine. The weight of the world that you thought was yours is actually the weight of a history I am now erasing. Feel the lightness in your spirit as the ancient residue is washed away. You are standing on a clean foundation. The old roots have been burned, and I am planting seeds of joy, vulnerability, and abundance in their place. Your future is no longer a repeat of the past. It is a brand new creation. It is done, sealed. I speak now to the invisible blanket of darkness that has tried to smother your spark, that thick cloud of heaviness that makes even the simplest task feel like climbing a mountain. I have seen you wake up with a weight on your chest, wondering if you can find the strength to face another day of the same gray shadow. You have felt a weariness that sleep cannot touch, a fatigue of the soul that has drained the color from your world. This spirit of heaviness has tried to convince you that this is just your personality, that you are destined to be a creature of the twilight forever, on the verge of tears, or trapped in a numb silence. But I am the God of the morning star, and I did not create you to be a prisoner of despair. I am stepping into the atmosphere of your mind right now to drive out the spirit of depression and the ghost of hopelessness that has overstayed its welcome in your temple. I issue a sovereign decree to your nervous system and your spirit. I command the spirit of heaviness to leave your presence immediately. I am peeling back the layers of gloom and replacing them with the oil of joy. I am stripping away the sackcloth of mourning and clothing you in the garments of praise. Every dark whisper that told you it would never get better, every heavy thought that dragged your head down toward the earth, I rebuke them in my holy name. Get out. Now release the mind of my child. I am flooding the corridors of your heart with a light that no shadow can overcome. I am restoring the rhythm of your hope and the melody of your laughter. You are not a victim of your emotions. You are a vessel of my light, and I am clearing out the darkness to make room for a joy that is unspeakable and full of glory. Pay attention to your body as this spiritual weight is lifted. You may feel a strange electric tingling in your hands and at the tips of your fingers. That is the energy of release, the tangible power of my spirit moving the stagnation out of your life. The pressure in your chest is vanishing, replaced by a lightness that makes you feel as though you could finally breathe without effort. The brain fog that has clouded your decisions is dissipating, leaving behind a crisp, divine clarity. Your hands, which have been limp with exhaustion, are being infused with new strength for the work I have set before you. You are rising from the ashes of your sorrow, and the brightness of my countenance is reflecting in your eyes once again. The season of heaviness is over. The dawn has broken. It is done, sealed. I reach now into the very architecture of your physical being, into the microscopic level where the memories of your trauma have tried to hide. I know that your mind may have forgotten certain moments, but your body has kept the score. I have seen how your nervous system has remained in a state of high alert, a perpetual state of fight or flight that has left you drained and trembling. I've watched the way your muscles tighten involuntarily when you enter a room that reminds you of a past failure, or how your stomach knots at the sound of a voice that once tore you down. These are not just thoughts. They are biological echoes of pain that have etched themselves into your cells and even into the sequences of your DNA. But I am the one who knit you together in your mother's womb, and I know how to rewrite the code that the enemy has tried to corrupt. Today, I am moving through your blood, through your marrow, and through every synaptic pathway to perform a divine cleansing of these physical imprints of sorrow. You are not a prisoner of your biology. You are a temple of my spirit, and I am reclaiming every inch of this sacred space from the shadows of the past. I saw you when you flinched at a sudden movement, a reflex born of old wounds that you thought were long healed. I saw you when your breath became shallow and your palms grew cold, your body reacting to a ghost from a decade ago, as if it was standing right in front of you. You have been carrying a biological weight, a reflex to shrink and withdraw whenever the pressure of life increases. You have felt your heart race without reason and your sleep interrupted by the echoes of ancient alarms. But I declare a holy override. Right now, I am resetting the source code of peace within every single cell of your body. I command the memories of trauma to be dissolved by the liquid light of my presence. I am deprogramming the fear that has lived in your tissues and the tension that has inhabited your bones. Every chemical signal of stress, every hormonal imbalance caused by chronic anxiety, and every neural path that has been hardwired for despair, I am rerouting them toward my peace. I am refreshing your biological memory with the truth of my protection so that your body no longer feels the need to guard itself against a battle that I have already won. Pay close attention to the sensations within you right now, for this is a physical restoration taking place in real time. I am releasing a divine coolness, a soothing, crystalline stream of my spirit that is beginning to spread throughout your mind and down into your limbs. It feels like the breaking of a long, heavy fever or the arrival of a fresh, clean breeze after a sweltering day. Feel the brain fog, that heavy, stagnant mist that has made it hard to think, to focus, or to dream, finally dissipating and vanishing into the light of my clarity. Your mind is becoming sharp, your thoughts are becoming orderly, and your physical frame is feeling a renewed sense of structural integrity. You are being rebuilt from the inside out, not just spiritually, but biologically. The scars on your soul are fading, and the physical memory of the fire is being replaced by the coolness of the living water. You are a new creation in every fiber of your being, in every drop of blood, and in every breath you take. The old reactions are gone. The new peace is established. You are free from the haunting of your own body. It is done, sealed. We have reached the final round, the moment where the healing meets the purpose. I have systematically dismantled the walls, washed away the poison, and reset the very rhythm of your life. But I did not give you a heart of flesh just so it could sit still in a quiet room. I gave it to you so that it would beat in perfect sync with the destiny I wrote for you before the foundation of the world. For too long, you have been stuck in a state of spiritual stagnation, feeling like you were running in place while the world moved on without you. You have felt a lack of direction, a fog that made every choice feel like a gamble. But right now, I am striking the match. I am igniting the fire of your true calling. That heart of flesh is now receiving a divine charge, a surge of my holy power that will act as a compass for your every step. I am activating the dormant seeds of wisdom and the sleeping giants of courage that were buried under the rubble of your pain. You are moving from a season of holding on to a season of taking ground. I declare over you right now, the stagnation is shattered, the spirit of delay is evicted. I am pouring out a fresh anointing of clarity that will guide you into the rooms you are meant to influence and the lives you are meant to touch. Your words will carry weight and your actions will bear fruit that remains. You're no longer just a survivor of the storm. You are the one who walks upon the waves. Join your authority with mine once more and declare this truth into the atmosphere of your life. I do not just survive. I will rule in peace. I am moving into my destiny with power and purpose. Say it again until the vibration of those words shakes the very foundation of your doubt. I have not brought you through the fire to leave you empty-handed. I have brought you through the fire to make you fireproof, and now I'm sending you out as a light that the darkness cannot comprehend. Pay close attention to the strength that is rising from deep within your spirit at this very second. It is not an adrenaline rush from the world. It is the steady, unshakable power of my spirit anchoring you to your future. I see you standing taller, your back straightening as the invisible yoke of not good enough falls away. There is a heat in your chest, a warmth that feels like a lion waking up after a long winter. This is the activation of your divine identity. You're no longer wandering, you are marching. Every door that was shut because of your fear is now being opened by my favor. Every resource you need is already on the way. The rhythm of your heart is now the rhythm of victory. You are ready. You are equipped. You are mine. It is done. Sealed. Look into the mirror of my word, my precious one, and see the transformation that has taken place in this sacred hour. You are no longer the one who shrinks from the shadows. You have become the light that the shadows fear. I have taken the very fragments of your brokenness and forged them into a weapon of authority. You used to see yourself as a victim of your scars, a person defined by what was taken and who was lost. But I tell you now, those scars are no longer marks of shame. They are your credentials of power. You are not a victim of your history. You are a healer who carries the authority to pull others out of the same darkness you once inhabited. What the enemy meant for your destruction, I have repurposed for your dominion. Every tear you shed has been distilled into an oil of anointing that will flow from your hands to bring comfort to the weary and strength to the faint-hearted. You are standing in a new identity, clothed in the majesty of the one who called you by name. Understand the divine reversal that is happening even now in the courts of heaven. The enemy intended to use the hardness of your heart to isolate you and eventually extinguish your spark. He intended for your pain to be the end of your story. But I have used the very pressure that was meant to crush you to produce a diamond of indestructible faith. The very tragedy that tried to steal your breath has become the foundation of a new unwavering lung capacity for my spirit. I have turned your mourning into a dance of authority. Those who looked at you and saw a broken person will now look at you and see the unmistakable evidence of my restorative power. You are a living testament that I am the God who makes all things new. The weapon that was formed against you did not just fail. It was dismantled, and its materials were used to build the gateway to your greatest victory. You are not just getting over it. You are rising above it, seated with me in heavenly places. Enter now into the profound rest of this divine covering. Do not feel the need to scramble or strive to maintain this state of grace, for this peace is not a temporary gift that I give and then take away. It is not a fleeting emotion that depends on the world being quiet. This peace is your new atmosphere. It is the very air you breathe. It is the shield that guards your heart and the anchor that holds your soul. You are walking in a bubble of celestial protection that the noise of the world cannot penetrate. Rest your mind. Let your soul be still and know that I am God. You no longer need to build walls of stone, for I am your wall of fire. You no longer need to lock your heart, for I am the one who stands at the gate. Walk forward with the quiet confidence of a warrior who knows the war is already won. You are safe. You are whole. You are mine. It is time to lock this revelation into the fabric of your reality so that no thief can ever snatch it from your hand. Your faith must have a final physical expression. Type it now in the comments, declaring it to the heavens and the earth. It is done. My future is guarded. Let these words be the iron bolt that secures the door of your new life. And as you step into this mantle of authority, subscribe to this sanctuary once more. What I have started in you today, I will continue to perfect. This is not a one-time encounter. It is the beginning of a lifelong walk in my light. Join us and let us walk together in the clarity and protection that only my voice can provide. Your journey of authority has just begun. Go forth in peace, for you are the warrior I have called you to be. My precious child, you have received a treasure this day, a heart of flesh that is tender, alive, and vibrating with the frequency of my spirit. But here, my wisdom, a treasure newly found, must be guarded with divine diligence. Do not think that because the stone is gone, the journey is over. Rather, it has just begun. The first step I require of you is intentional rest. Your physical body, your nervous system, and your very soul have undergone a massive spiritual recalibration today. You must give yourself the grace of stillness. Do not rush back into the noise of the world or the frantic pace of your old life. Sleep deeply tonight, knowing that as you rest, I am weaving the fibers of your new heart together, making them strong and resilient. Your body needs time to integrate this shift, to let the old biological memories fade and the new source code of peace take root. Silence is not empty. It is the laboratory where I perfect my work in you. Rest is your first act of trust in this new season. As you step out into the world, you must learn the art of divine boundaries. While your heart is now open to me, it must remain selective toward the world. I have given you a heart of flesh, not a heart of glass to be shattered by anyone who crosses your path. Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You do not owe your deepest vulnerabilities to those who have not earned the right to see them. It is holy to say no to environments that drain your peace and people who speak the language of your old cynicism. Protect the garden of your soul. Forgiveness. My child is your third step, and you must understand its true nature. Forgiving those who hurt you is not an agreement with their evil. It is the act of cutting the umbilical cord that feeds their poison into your future. You're not saying what they did was right. You're saying that their debt will no longer be collected from your joy. By forgiving you, release the prisoner only to realize the prisoner was you. Finally, guard the gateways of your mind. Be vigilant about what you allow to enter through your eyes and your ears. The world is full of echoes of the stone heart, bitterness, fear, and hopelessness. Do not feast on the crumbs of the enemy's table when I have prepared a banquet of life for you. Seek out the things that are pure, lovely, and of good report. You go out now under the shadow of my wings, protected, favored, and deeply known. I do not sleep, nor do I slumber as I watch over you. My presence is your permanent atmosphere. You are walking into a future that is guarded by the King of Kings. Do not stop here, for the victory of the heart must be reinforced by the victory of the mind. Move immediately to the next message I have prepared for you. Let it be the seal that locks this transformation into every area of your life. Do not let the momentum fade. Transition now to the next revelation, and let us continue this divine work together.